Greetings, my empire. Trey's here back with another video, and I'm coming at y'all today with my stamina crit warden PvP build. I wanted to make this build video for two reasons. Number one, I wanted to make this build just to give y'all a build so y'all can be ready for the Deadlands DLC. That DLC is gonna be crazy. The hybrid meta in general is going to be ridiculous, you feel me? And I honestly can't wait to see how the game is going to, how the gameplay is going to be once we're in that meta. Once that DLC comes out, I wonder how the PvP gameplay is going to be and how it's going to look. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to just give y'all a build to be ready for the Deadlands DLC. That's number one. Number two, I basically wanted to make this build video just to show y'all, basically just to tell y'all to not be afraid of critical damage. I know a lot of people might be hesitant to run crit because, they think it's nerfed because of the cap that is going to be put on extra crit damage. If you didn't know, in the Deadlands DLC, crit bonuses are going to be capped to 125% critical damage bonus. And I want to be here to say this right now, that's not gonna affect PvP at all, you feel me? It's probably gonna affect PvE, you feel me? I don't know what y'all doing on the PvE side. It's probably gonna affect y'all, but for PvP, this new cap on critical damage done increases is not gonna affect us at all, you feel me? Because in no way, shape, or form is any person running a PvP build gonna be running over 125% critical damage bonus. It's not. No, nobody's gonna be running that. That's not something that's gonna be common. You know what I'm saying? Even mag blade bombers don't run 125% critical damage bonus. Nobody does that. So you have nothing to worry about. Critical damage is not nerfed. Critical damage still slaps. I feel like I really like critical damage. It still slaps, and it's still gonna slap. So don't be intimidated now that it has a cap. It for PvP, it's not gonna do anything at all for PvP. And yeah, you feel me? Before I get into the build, I want to ask y'all to hit the like button, subscribe, join the empire. You already know, helps us out, helps the channel, and helps the channel grow. And without further ado, let's get into the build. So you already know we always start with our character sheet. So our character sheet right now, our max magicka, we are sitting at 1,400. Magicka recovery, we are sitting at 670. Our maximum health, we are sitting at 24,000. Now I know y'all might be thinking, oh, this is a little bit low, but we are Warden, and we do get minor toughness in our passive. So while we're in combat, our maximum health is going to be at 27k. So don't think, don't take this health at face value, because in combat our health is going to be sitting at 27k. Health recovery, we don't talk about that because it's trash. Maximum stamina 30k. Stamina recovery 1,400. Besides this stamina, these stamina resources, our stamina sustain is actually really good, which I'm gonna explain once we get into the sets and the abilities. But our stamina, we basically, I just want to tell y'all right now, we're not gonna have any problems with stamina sustain on this build. Weapon damage unbuff, we have 3,800. Weapon critical unbuff, we have 36.4%. Our physical penetration is at 700. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, our penetration does not go up on this build. Now, wait, hold on, don't run away, don't throw a tantrum. I know. Listen, this build doesn't need the penetration. We have a lot of damage, you feel me? Don't think because the build has low penetration that we're just not going to be able to do damage, especially to tank your specs. We're going to be doing massive damage to everybody just with our crits alone. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get more into that once we get into sets and stuff like that. But damage is nothing to worry about in this build. Our crits take care of all the damage we need. And even so, I do have an alternate way you can run this build to where you have a decent amount of penetration. I'm gonna get into that once I get into the abilities, but there is a way you can get penetrations on this build. I don't recommend that way because I feel like we don't need the penetration. We're gonna have enough damage to do what we need to do. But if you feel like you can't run the build without penetration, then once I get into the abilities, I'm gonna explain how you can put a decent amount of penetration on your build, on this build. Resistances on buff, we have 22k spell resistance, 22k physical resistance, and we have 2100 critical resistance. Now, going to buff stats, buff resistances, we have 28k spell resistance, 28k physical resistance. Now, buff damage, we at 4,900 weapon damage buff, and we at 48.4% weapon critical chance. That's basically close to 50% weapon critical chance. You feel me? Before they did that little change to medium armor, they did a change to medium armor where instead of it giving you weapon critical chance, they switched it out to give you just crit damage done. Before they did that, I was at above 50% weapon critical chance, but they clearly nerfed that, so I'm not at 50%, but we're damn near close. You feel me? We're below 2% away from 50%. So basically if you do 2 attacks, one of those attacks is gonna be a crit. Basically, you feel me? We're basically at 50% weapon critical chance. We're gonna be critting like a madman, and yeah, you feel me? And yeah, let's get into the rest of the stat sheet, man. Attributes, we have 64 into stamina. Going to the advanced stats, I usually don't go into the advanced stats on my build videos, you feel me? But going into the advanced stats, as you can see, we have 44% crit damage buff in the advanced stats, so we get a 44% extra critical. We do 44% extra critical damage on this build. Does the advanced stats show critical healing? I don't know. All right, right here, and we do get 32% extra critical healing. I didn't see that. So 44% crit damage, 32% crit healing, really good. You feel me? We're gonna get a lot more damage with our crits for 44%, and that does go up with our sets. Our crit damage bonus does go up with our sets, which I'm gonna show y'all. But keep in mind, don't take this at face value. Our crit damage buff does go up, and our crit healing is absolutely insane. So all the healing we're gonna do, not only do we have a high crit chance to give us more, you know, get consistent critical healing, but our critical healing is going to be increased by 32%, which is wild. Sustain on this build is actually godlike, you know what I'm saying? Now for our active effects, our Monday stones, I said stones. We have the lady and the thief. Now if you are, a player who's been playing this game for a while, you're a veteran player, you know what set I'm running to have 2 Monday stones. But if you don't know what set I'm running, I'm gonna get into that once I get into my sets. But we are running the lady just for, more physical and spell resistances that I thought that we needed on this build, just to make us more tankier, have, keep us up, just basically making us tankier, you know what I'm saying? And the thief, a weapon and spell critical strike ratings, that's basically critical chance, is going to give us 2,000 or 1,979 weapon critical strike rating, which is basically going to increase our critical chance, which we need because we are a crit build and we want to crit consistently. For our food, we are running Lava Foot, Soup, and Sortress just for raw stamina stats, and we get 4,000 maximum stamina and 451 stamina recovery. So yeah, just for raw stamina stats that I really like, and I thought, this stamina overall, you can maybe change this food to something like Artanium takeaway broth. That probably wouldn't be bad as well, you feel me? But I just run Lava Foot Super Sortress just because I like it, you know what I'm saying? Now for our potions, we run crown tri restoration potions or tripods in general are just the best. It gives us health, magic, and stamina, and the recoveries for those resources. What can I say? Tripods is just on top. They're just the best pots to run in the game. And yeah. Now for our front bar set, you feel me? Our first set, we're running on the front bar. We are running Griffons. We have the two-handed axe. We have the weapon damage enchantment. For our trait, we have precise. And what Griffons does is give us a line of weapon critical. It gives us another line of weapon critical. It gives us a line of weapon damage. And the fifth, if you're running 5 of them, after dealing direct damage, you get minor force and minor expeditions for 10 seconds, increases your critical damage done by 10%, and increases your movement speed by 50%. So, like I said, our crit damage increase, it does get buffed. You know what I'm saying? It does get buffed with sets, and this is the set that buffs it. So, that 44% crit damage increase we seen on our stats, add an extra 10% to that with the minor force, and we basically have a 54% critical damage increase, you know, in general, you feel me, which is crazy. Our crits is gonna be chunking people's health, and the minor expedition that Griffons gives you is just so good, you feel me? I really love the minor expedition aspect of this set, and the reason for that is on this character, spoiler alert, our main spammable is uppercut. That is our main spammable, and I feel like a lot of times, you know, especially in open world PvP, uppercuts sometimes can be canceled just because of the person you're trying to uppercut gets out of the range, because you know they're moving fast or they're roll dodging and stuff, so you don't get your uppercut off when you were supposed to. You feel me? But having the minor expedition is going to make it so that you can keep up with people, keep up with your opponent, make sure you're getting the uppercuts off and that they're in your range so they can be uppercut. So just minor expedition or extra movement speed in the offense is really good. Really love Gryphons. Really good set. Gives us extra critical damage and extra offensive movement speed. Love it. This is that set, you feel me? Now on the back bar, we are running potentates. We have a dagger with defending on it. For the enchantment, we're running poisons, you feel me? We're running double dot poisons. You can run anything you run. If you want to run an enchantment, absorb stamina enchantment, or you want to run a drain stamina poison, you can. I'm just running double dot poisons because I want to, you feel me? The shield has maximum stamina enchantment and reinforced, just to make us bulkier. Then what Potentates does is when you run 2 pieces of it, it reduces your damage taken from players by 3%. So it's just basically going to make us more tanky on the back bar. We're going to get 3% mitigations from players on the back bar. Really good. Yeah, that's why we run Potentates. Now for the body pieces, we do run 5 medium and 2 heavy. You feel me? 5 medium, 2 heavy. You want divines on all pieces of your gear. I know I have impenetrable on the helmet, but that's because I made a mistake. I basically got this monster set from the gold vendor, and I instead of buying the divines one, I accidentally bought the impenetrable one, and I wasn't gonna go buy another one of the monster sets, so I just said, man, I'm gonna keep this. But I do need to change the trade on this. But you want divines on everything, max health on everything. Like right there, I should change this to max health. I don't got the. You want this max health? You feel me? I'm messing up. You feel me? I'm messing up. But our monster set, we are running Grunwolf. Now I really like Grunwolf. Now before I ran Grunwolf on this build, I used to run Slime Crawl, and before Slime Crawl I used to run Bloodspawn. But overall, I feel like Grunwolf is just the best monster set to run on this build. What Grunwolf does is it gives you a line of critical chance. Then the second piece is whenever you deal critical damage, you restore 675 stamina or magicka, or whichever maximum size. So we're basically stamina. And you also gain 337 of the other resource, and this effect can occur every 5 seconds. So basically we have almost 50% weapon critical chance. So we're in combat. Basically in combat, every 5 seconds we're going to get 675 stamina, and we're going to get 337 magicka every 5 seconds in combat, basically, which is really good for overall resource sustain, where it's going to be really hard for us to run out of stamina and magicka. And Warden is one of those classes that use both of those resources. You know, Stamina Warden uses its magicka pool, you know, a lot. So, you know, having a set that's giving us both magicka and stamina is really good just for overall resource sustain, and it's a really good set. And I really like that the first piece does give you weapon critical chance in general. Yeah, really good monster set. A must-have on this build, in my personal opinion. I guess you can replace this with a set like Slime Crawl. That's the only set I would say that you can replace Grunwolf with. But that's it. Either Slime Crawl or Grunwolf. Those are only the two monster sets. Just the two best monster sets for this build. Now, for our second 5-piece set, we are running Twice Born Star on the body. Now, what Twice Born Star does is it gives you a line of maximum health, it gives you a line of maximum stamina, it gives you a line of maximum magicka, and the 5th piece, you can have 2 Mundus Stones boons at the same time. So this is the set that's basically allowing us to have another Mundus Stone boon. Now, the reason I like this set so much, I love Twice Born Star so much, is not only because it gives you another Mundus boon that you can have active, but if you have Divine on all of your gear, not only is Divine gonna buff your original Mundus Stone buff, but it's gonna also buff the second one that you get with Twice Born Star. So you basically have 2 buffed Mundus Stones buffs, Mundus Stone boons active at the same time. You feel me? That's why when we go into the character sheet, that's why the lady gives us so much resistances. We have 4,000. I think it usually gives you like 2,500 when you don't have divines on, but it basically buffed it to where we have 4,000 physical spell resistance with the lady, and we're getting almost 2,000 critical strike rating on with the thief. You feel me? So Twice Born Star, really good. Really a versatile set, really a flexible stat, because you could basically just change these stats anytime you want to, any boon you want, and have them buffed with divines. So Twice Born Star, really good set, highly recommended. You feel me? I feel like it's a slept on set, to be honest. I feel like it's really a slept on set, but I'm using it. You feel me? Maybe I'm weird. I know I'm weird. You feel me? I be running stuff that people don't run. Now, for our jewelry, we're running the Griffons. I keep pronouncing it. Griffons. You feel me? Necklace and rings. You feel me? All weapon damage enchantment and robust trait. You know, just for maximum stamina. And yeah. Now, to get into the abilities on our front bar. Let's get into the abilities. First, we are running Executioner. Our Execute does a lot of damage, does physical damage, and does up to 400% more physical damage. 400% more damage with enemies with less than 50% health. When we crit with Executioner, it's amazing. You're basically gonna completely wipe somebody at 50% health, or get really close to wiping them just because of the crit alone. Not only are you getting a 400% damage increase when they're under 50% health, but you're going to get your 54 critical damage increase plus the regular critical damage increase alone. It's going to wipe people. So Executioner buff with crit damage is absolutely insane. It gets the job done. It gets players out of the game. You feel me? Rally, this is going to be our source of major brutality. It's going to be our source of minor endurance, and it's going to be a decent heal. You heal for 3,844 health when rally ends, but the final heal is increased by 15% every 1 second to a maximum of 300%. So when you get the 300% increase to the rally heal, plus it being a crit heal with the extra critical healer we have, bro, you're gonna have full health, bro. Like a crit rally heal is gonna take you to full health, guaranteed. Especially with this build, us getting extra 34% critical healing bonus, you're gonna get to full health with rally easily. And you're gonna be you're gonna be getting crit heals consistently with rally, since we have, you know, almost 50% critical chance. So rally, really good heal, source of major brutality, and source of minor endurance. Yeah. Dizzying swing, one of the best spam moves in the game. It does physical damage, a lot of physical damage. It sets targets off balance, and when you hit an off balance target with dizzying swing, you stun them. So this is gonna be our stun. Really good damage, especially when you crit. When you crit with dizzying swing, you can really see the impact you're doing on the player. You're basically gonna whittle them down, a whole bunch of damage. You know, you're gonna, like, if you run this build, you're gonna actually see how much damage dizzying swing does when it crits, man. It's absolutely insane. You're gonna, bro, that's all I can say to y'all, man. Green Lotus. Basically, when this ability is active, we're gonna get a heal when we do our light attacks, and a bigger heal when we do heavy attacks for 20 seconds. And this is gonna be our source of major savagery that is gonna increase our weapon critical rating by 2,629 for 20 seconds. So basically, this is gonna give us a lot of crit chance. As you can see right there, we have 36.4. Activate this. 48.4%. So really good. Not only is it really good heals with our light and heavy attacks, which are going to get buffed when we critically heal, but we're going to get you know, crit chance to crit consistently. Now, Subterranean Assault, the bread and butter of Stamina Warden. Basically, this is gonna you know, do 2 burst attacks every 3 seconds. So, you know, you get 1, 2, 3 bursts, then 1, 2, 3 bursts. Those beetles do so much damage, especially when you know, have everything buffed. You crit with them, and you know, you hit somebody with the dizzying swing stun. It just does so much damage, so much poison damage. This is basically Werewolf's Bane, you feel me? You hit a werewolf with this, you got them stunned with dizzying swing, you hit them with this, they're basically wiped, you feel me? It's too much poison in them. It's absolutely insane. One of the best bursts in the game. This is basically 2 uppercuts, 2 you know, channel uppercuts. I'm gonna call it a double channel uppercut, this ability. So really good. Bread and butter, Stam Warden. Downbreaker Smiting. This is gonna do physical damage to enemies in front of you in a cone. Then it's gonna do a tick damage over 6 seconds to the enemies that you hit with it as well, and it's gonna stun all the enemies that you hit with it for 2 seconds. So this is one of the best ults for stamina tunes in general. It does really good initial physical damage. It does a really good tick. You know, dot physical damage, and it's a AoE stun, which I can't complain about, you feel me? This is really good for group PvP. If you're fighting, you know, a group of people, you just put them all on their back and do, you know, a really good amount of damage. Especially when you're critting with this, you're gonna do an insane amount of damage. Resolving Vigor, a tick heal. A cheap tick heal, you know, it's gonna heal us for a really good amount over 4 seconds, and those heals are gonna get increased with, you know, our crit heals, and our critical healing done increases, which is gonna be wild. Now, Deceptive Predator. Now, a lot of people run the other morph that gives you minor berserk, but I really love Deceptive Predator because, one, you can run this on the back bar. Now, I don't like that, you know, the other morph kind of forces you to run it on the front bar. It's kind of awkward having your movement speed, your Maze Expedition buff on your front bar, because typically when you're kiting in open world PvP, you're kiting people, or you're running away in general, or you're retreating in general, you're running with your defense bar, you feel me? Because as they're hitting you as you're running, you know, you're not taking as much damage. so it's kind of awkward having the movement speed a buff on the front bar. And Deceptive Predator gives you minor evasion, which is really good, especially right now. A lot of people are running AoEs. Jabs is really powerful right now, and minor evasion is gonna basically mitigate the jabs damage towards you, which is really good. Basically, you're gonna get a 10% mitigation from jabs, which really important, really good overall sustain for this build. But yeah, and this is gonna be our source of major expedition, of course. You feel me? It gives us major expeditions for 6 seconds, of course. You feel me? Now, next ability. Now, this is gonna be a flex bar, a flex slot. You can run one of 3 abilities. You feel me? I feel like these are the 3 abilities you can run on this bar. Now, first is living Trellis, which is the ability I run the most. It's basically gonna put vines on you that basically every time you take damage, you're gonna heal. For health every time you take damage. So it basically helps you with overall a sustain, because every time you're taking damage, you're getting your heal every 1 second. You feel me? So in combat, you're basically gonna get a heal every 1 second when you have this up, and it gives you a decent heal when the effect expires too. It kind of works like a rally, where when the ability ends, you get a good a heal. You feel me? So I mainly run this ability just because it's a really good heal, and it gets increased with our critical healing and crit heals in general. But the 2 abilities you can swap out with this ability is, one is Pierce Armor. Now, this is what I was talking about, where you can kind of put crit penetration on this build, put a good amount of penetration. What Pierce Armor does is it affects the enemy with major and minor breach, which is basically going to give you 8,000 or close to 8,000 penetration towards that target. You feel me? So, well, I'll say, actually, no, it's above 8,000. My fault. You feel me? You basically get 8,000 penetration towards the target. Now, if you're running Pierce Armor on this build, instead of running the Potentate Sword and Shield, I would run the Master's Sword and Shield. What the Master Sword and Shield does is, when you deal damage with puncture, you heal for 3,511 health, and you gain spell and physical resistance equal to the amount of healing you got. You feel me? So this would be really good, if you're running puncture, because when you puncture, and if you get a crit heal with that puncture, you're gonna get more healing, and whatever of that increased healing you got from that puncture, you're gonna get resistances. So a crit heal puncture with this build, you're probably gonna be getting around a 5,000 heal, and basically your resistances are gonna get increased by 5,000. Your physical and spell resistance is going to get increased by 5,000 with this build. So really good. Actually, if you're running puncher, but I feel like you don't need the extra pen. I feel like you should just opt in for more sustain on this bar, like I have. Living Trellis, or the last ability is Shuffle. You can run Shuffle on this bar as well. Shuffle is really good and paired with Deceptive Predator, because they're basically going to be getting a 30% mitigations to area attacks, and basically 30% mitigations from jabs. Jabs is basically going to hit you for nothing when you have these 2 active. You know what I'm saying? So run one of those 3 abilities. There's basically your flex spot. Now, Bull Netch. This is a free ability that's going to give us 4,992 stamina. So a free ability that's giving us resources back. It gives us major brutality, but we don't really use it for that. Because we already get major brutality to rally. So, but we don't use it for that. We use it because it's a free ability that gives us stamina, and it's a free cleanse every 5 seconds. It cleanses a negative effect from you. 1 negative effect from you every 5 seconds. So free stamina and free cleanse, can't complain. You feel me? Ice Fortress, one of the best defensive abilities in the game. This ability is our source of major resolve that increases our physical and spell resistance by 5,948 for 24 seconds, and it's going to give us minor protection that's going to reduce our damage taken by 5% for 24 seconds. So not only is this giving us physical and spell resistance, but this is also giving us damage mitigations as well. So just overall a lot of you know, bulkiness and sustain with this one ability. Now, Healing Thicket, bro, this ability is honestly, you know, a kind of a cheat ability. You feel this is kind of cheating. Basically, this is gonna put a heal, you know, a AOE heal for you and your allies. That gives an initial heal and heals and a heal. You know, a heal every 1 second for 6 seconds. And when you leave the area, it's gonna still heal you for 4 seconds after leaving. So the reason that makes this what makes this ability so good is not only is it a really good heal for you and your allies, but it's so dirt cheap. It's like a better version. I said virgin, a better version. Bro, why the version? A better version of Remembrance, which is the Templar healing. It's like a better version of that because it's way cheaper. You feel me? Like I get this ability back like every 5 seconds, bro, and it's a crazy heal. You can actually use this as an offensive ultimate. You feel me? You just put it up and do your damage. You feel me? And you're gonna out sustain your target because you have this up. So really good, really good. Honestly, it's a toxic ability, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It's a toxic ability to run. I ain't gonna lie, but hey, if you want to run it, bro. If you don't want to run it, you can also run Sleet Storm. This gives you major protection when it's active. So if you want to run that, you can run this as well. But I feel like Healing Thicket, especially with your critty heal, bro, so toxic, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I'm toxic for running that. But that is our abilities. Now let's get into the CP. Getting into the CP. Basically, I'm gonna just go through the main, you know, ones I have. I have Fighter Finesse, which is gonna increase our critical damage and healing from 10%. Really good, more critical damage and healing on a crit build. We like it. We have Resilience, which gives us 660 critical resistance. Now, the reason I have this on is because I'm not running Impenetrable on my gear, so we obviously need critical resistance. So I basically just got it from the CP. So this is why we say we still sit at 2,000 crit resistance. It's because we get crit resistance in our CP passives. We have Endless Endurance that's going to give us 1,300 maximum stamina. You can change this. I just like, you know, extra stamina sustain, so I have it. But you could change this to, you know, something like more damage or something like that. It's whatever you want. And Untamed Aggression, this is going to give us 150 weapon damage, just flat damage increases. We like it. You feel me? Now for the red tree, we have Relentless, one of my favorite CP abilities now. Basically, after you're stunned or feared, you gain major protections for 3 seconds. Yeah, I basically call this passive Bomber's Bane because when you get stunned from a bomb, you're basically going to get damage mitigations after that stun, and they're, you know, not going to do as much damage. You feel me? Really, and this is good for overall combat in general, because in combat you get stunned a lot. So just to have overall mitigations while in combat is really good. Juggernaut, basically when we're in crowd control immunity, we're gonna have 5% damage reduction. If you don't know what crowd control immunity is, it's basically that time frame to where you can't get stunned. You feel me? It's basically that short time frame, and in that time frame we get 5% mitigation. So it just helps us with overall you know, sustain in general, helps us, you know, keeps us up in the fight in general. Fortified gives us 1,731 armor, really good. Just to make us more bulkier, have more armor, have more resistances. Yeah. Boundless Vitality gives us a 1,400 max health buff, just to get our health to where we need it to be. A lot of health, you feel me? Not too much health, you feel me? But on PvP characters, you want to have a solid amount of health, you feel me? So yeah, we run Boundless Vitality. The green tree, I'm not gonna explain the green tree. If you want to run what I'm running, you can. Yeah. And that's pretty much the build video, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the build, man. I've really been having fun with this crit warden. I actually had this for a while, and I wanted to do this build video for you guys a long time ago, but I was still working out tweaks with the build. You know, I wanted to make this build perfect, and I feel like I did. It just performs so well for me. I literally have no problems with this build at all. Good sustain, good damage, good resource management. This build just has it all. You know, crits hit like freaking trucks, get good critical healing. Warden as a class is funny. This is actually my first warden I've ever made, and it's really, really good. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the build, man. If y'all did, make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe, join the empire, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Dreams of Empire out.